right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this lovely corner of York County along Orson Run. Welcome Alliance partners, DCNR staff, supporters, volunteers. Thank you so much for coming out today for this just wonderful opportunity to celebrate the planting of trees and all that they mean for our communities and our environment. It couldn't think of a more perfect, cool October day to do this. So thank you all for coming out. My name is Seth Castle, State Forester and Director of DCNR Bureau of Forestry, and I have the opportunity to lead the Bureau of Forestry within Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. And we have a mission to conserve and steward the trees and forests of Pennsylvania while connecting with people and communities that we serve as we go about doing that work. And so today is really an embodiment of that work. And I definitely want to recognize our Bureau of Forestry staff who are here today, especially our watershed forestry team under the leadership of Matt Kiefer, Assistant Director, and Teddy Stark, our watershed program manager, and all the watershed specialists that we have here today, in addition to other DCNR staff and partners. Just really great to see everyone here and just acknowledge that work. As I was driving down today, so I am a York County native. It's great to be back in York County. And then driving here, seeing all the beautiful landscapes and the woodlots, it's a reminder of just how important our private forest lands are, our private lands are, into the health of our environment and our forests. We often think about the large block of public lands we have, which are really important, but most of the 17 million acres of forest land we have in Pennsylvania are privately owned, and we really need stewards to help manage that land and improve it. And today, being on a farm, thinking about what working the land means, what stewardship means, we need landowners to be engaged and have that interest in advancing conservation goals. And along those lines, I just want to thank Land O'Lakes for being here to support that work. They understand the stewardship and the responsibility that comes along with owning and operating farms. And when we think about stewardship, and I think it's recognized here today, when we think about stewardship, it's not just about something you think about, it's work. Conservation is hard work, and it takes partnerships and collaboration and people willing to work together, roll up their sleeves together to get this work done. And I think we're definitely going to see that today, whether or not we're thinking about conservation professionals, partners, donors, corporate sponsors, volunteers, everyone. We need everybody pulling in the same direction to improve our forests, improve our water quality, and improve our environment. When we're thinking about collaboration, we have a great partner with DCNR and the Alliance for Chesapeake Bay. And we're really happy to showcase that partnership today. The Alliance has been one of the shining stars for planting trees and buffers across Pennsylvania and the Chesapeake Bay. And the CEO, Kate Fritz, here as leader of that organization, really appreciate her leadership in helping drive that work and serve people and communities and improve our environment and forests across the Chesapeake Bay and beyond. So I want to acknowledge that partnership and introduce Kate Fritz from the Alliance of Chesapeake Bay. Up next. Thank you, Kate.
Thanks, Seth. Good morning, everyone. How are you? Excited. It's a beautiful morning to be doing this. As Seth said, my name is Kate Fritz, and I have the honor of serving as the CEO of the Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay, a position I've had the honor of holding for the last 8 years. So you all maybe know, but our mission as an organization is to restore our lands and waters of the Chesapeake Bay watershed. And I can think of no better place to start that work than upstream here in York County, because 2/3 of the fresh water into the Chesapeake Bay comes from the Susquehanna River. So at the Alliance, we are constantly looking to work upstream on the lands with our communities to help prevent pollution from where it starts. And today is a really great example of how we do that work. I want to thank our DCNR partners as well. You all have enabled an incredible opportunity to really scale up and accelerate the rate of restoration via tree planting and reforestation across Pennsylvania. You're such a critical partner to helping us get this work done. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to also thank the Druck family, the landowners. Seth talked about the importance of private landowners being willing to do this work in partnership with us. So I want to thank the Druck family for the actions they've decided to take in planting trees and doing upland work on their farm as well. I want to echo my thanks to Land O'Lakes and the Hershey Company for also being corporate part of the solution here. As part of the whole supply chain and engaging the supply chain to restore our watershed, our companies are incredibly important in helping us get farther. My last thank you is to the Alliance team. Could you all put your hand up for some recognition of all the hard work? Could you all please applaud these folks? They have been out all season helping get trees in the ground, helping coordinate volunteers to get trees in the ground, and doing some really hard work. So thank you all for that. This work really matters. I just told you why it's important that the Alliance is working upstream here in the Susquehanna River in York County. And when I think about what we're going to do today in terms of planting 2.5 acres of trees, I'm thinking about it as another piece in the puzzle of the work that we have all done together for so many years. And Cindy and I were sidebarring before this and just talking about how important it is that we keep going, because we know the solutions. We are implementing the solutions, and we just have to continue to do that and stay focused. And I'm so excited to continue to stay focused on that work. So I end a lot of my my speeches with a quote that is very important to me, and it really embodies the ethos of the Alliance. And it's an African quote that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go farther, you go together. And what we have done is to continue to go together, which makes it a huge benefit to our local communities, our local water quality, and the Chesapeake Bay as a whole. So thank you all for joining us today. And I am excited to turn the mic over to Cindy Dunn, the Secretary of DCNR. Fun fact before I turn the mic over to Cindy, Cindy was our first Pennsylvania State Director at the Alliance with Chesapeake Bay. And Cindy really helped put trees in the ground on behalf of the Alliance and behalf of other partnerships. So it's really an honor to continue to be in partnership with Cindy. So please welcome Cindy to the stage.
Thank you, Kate. It's very gratifying for me to be here and see this work and be part of it. Anyone who knows me knows that I make a point of being on buffer plantings both in spring and fall every year. I attend a lot of Chesapeake Bay meetings, but I want to be one of those people with dirt under my fingernails too, because this takes a lot of work. I want to be part of doing the work and part of the solution. You know, Kate used a proverb, maybe I'll try one, which I'll probably mess up. I think it's a Chinese proverb, but it says, the best time to plant a tree was 100 years ago, and the second best time to plant one is now. So we're trying to restore the landscape to its natural state. And there's nowhere that's more important than a buffer along a stream. And I want to join Kate in applauding the farmer, the landowner, and the corporate connection with Land O'Lakes, and their work to really restore water quality on this farm and also downstream. And as Seth said, coming into York County, it does remind you this mosaic of forest land, fields, and homes and communities is so important. And getting that land to perform as best as it can for the environment is possible. And people in York County are doing it, and we're really proud to be a big part of it. I join Seth in thanking the DCNR staff. Our team includes the Bureau of Forestry, as he mentioned, and also the Bureau of Recreation and Conservation, who's here as well. We have our communication team here, which pays a lot of attention to water, and our legal team. So with the DCNR folks, wave your hands. Some of us have logos on, but go meet a DCNR person if you don't know them. And as Seth mentioned, my go-to in all things buffer and policy buffer is Matt Kiefer, who's been at this business for quite some time. So the stewardship of this land and performing the performance of buffers is so important. It stores carbon, and we know how important carbon storage is in a changing climate. We know how important clean water is. It's driven by the Chesapeake Bay goals, but also driven locally, so local people can fish downstream. People get their water, drinking water, from the Susquehanna. I mean, Baltimore has a big water withdrawal downstream of here. In the Susquehanna, York and Lancaster, upstream of here, draw their water. So it's so important for drinking water. It slows down storm water during storm events, and we have more and frequent storm events. So just saving the stream from that gusher that's going to peel away the bank and make sediment and nutrients worse is really important. So it's helping the stream perform better and pollute less, not only in the runoff, but also the way the stream acts during a storm. And it cools the water and the habitat. It's really neat. One of the big tree plantings we were at last year or 2 years ago, we saw a lamprey come up right up Big Elk Creek into Big Elk Creek State Park right after a buffer planting. So that stream had no dams between it and the Chesapeake Bay, and we saw a migratory fish come right up that stream, which was pretty amazing. But the habitat for everything from trout to bass and everything in our waterways here in Pennsylvania is so important, and local people benefit. Of course, there's a terrestrial habitat too, the land-based habitat. I'm a bird watcher. You want to look for yellow warblers in spring, look along the riparian buffer, you'll find them. Trees beside streams are really active places for wildlife of all kinds, and it's really bringing back wildlife into our landscape in an important way. This farm is setting a great example, and as Kate and Seth have both said, we've got to keep doing this. We are really knocking it off though. So we collected, the partnership that we have here with buffers, 7,700 acres of buffers in the Chesapeake Bay watershed. So that's amazing. You think we're doing 2.5 today. Every piece counts, but 7,700 acres. I mean, thanks to all of you for that. Many of you have planted many, many acres over the years. And if you do the math and our formula, that equates to about 1.5 million additional trees. Every one of those trees is storing carbon and creating shade in the stream and reducing pollution. So it is making a difference. So collectively, together with all of our partners, all the ongoing work you're doing every year, and I'm really proud to be a small part of it. I make a point of planting some trees every year. And if you think about your own personal contribution, if you're planting trees every year, you're adding up to a little forest that you're responsible for, and I think that's a good feeling. You like to have that tangibility. We have created an opportunity to fundraise for trees along streams. It's called the Keystone Tree Fund. The Chesapeake Bay Commission created that fund a couple years ago, and Chris Novak and the team have made it possible for you to directly donate to the Keystone Tree Fund. And my first donation was in memorial to one of our retirees who sadly passed away prematurely, but I made a $100 donation in memoriam to the Keystone Tree Fund. And so if you can think of a way to promote the Keystone Tree Fund or use it, that feeds in, 60% of it goes to riparian buffers and 40% goes to community and urban forestry, also very important. So I just want to make that point. That's a big advancement since this spring in how we're going to fund trees. It's sort of a changeable budget climate that we have at the national level. So just really, really important to be able to do that. Anyway, I'm happy to be here today. I have a little bit of a cold, so I'll keep a little distance from folks. And with that, I am to give the podium to Ryan Davis, tree planter extraordinaire, maybe the person who's planted more trees than anyone I know. And Ryan will tell us what we're to do, give us our instruction.
Great. Wow, what an honor. Thank you. So yeah, we've done this.
Signal's not great out here. I would imagine a little bit like that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. Well, we have like it's you plant them and then frost comes and next year the wind blows them over and mice down.
But you don't know how many maturity.
Yeah, and everything. It's so hard to get these plants. But I have pictures of it too, like kind of before and after the pictures. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Is this your forestry?
I don't think it's got one of the really cool things about today's planting is that these seedlings, or these trees, were grown by a volunteer who has been helping grow up seedling trees.
Fantasy. Everything else going well? Any meadows?
Oh, no.
Point of planting some trees every year. If you think about your own personal contribution, if you're planting trees every year, you're adding up to a little forest that you're responsible for. And I think that's a good feeling. You like to have that tangibility. We have created an opportunity to fundraise for
Yeah, Seth Castle, S-E-T-A-C-A-S-S-E-L-L, Director of ECL and Bureau of What's going on here? Yeah, so the trees are really important.
Oh, no. No, sincerely, really helpful. I mean, I think it's like the closest. Yeah, he's a good boy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, the stained glass and everything. I think so, yeah. I can't spot it. It sounds phenomenal. Like for Carly or, oh, yeah.
No, it's good.
I know, I was thinking, I was like, maybe I'll go out like,
In the long run,
oh, yeah.
definitely
I
remember.
think, ironically, we might actually end up going on Sunday to the Russians.
But
Yeah, so we might do it back.
every single person.
I don't know why I'm having this anxiety.
Done it yet, so I'll probably jinx myself. Yeah.
If you just keep it,
Yeah. I always keep my head back ever since that first time.
anytime I have to fight it.
I love it. It's ridiculous. It is like cream cheese. Cream cheese? Yeah, that's the first.
Oh, okay, I still get
So, you know,
I'm gonna let the.
it's hard to read the sun right there.
Yeah, but yeah, so if you haven't been at an Alliance tree planting before, if you want to get in a little bit closer, Secretary Dunn here and I, and then my colleague Rob Frank are going to do the demonstration.
Okay,
I
someone
figured,
grab me some gloves. Sorry.
yeah, there we go, yeah, which, you know, good example. We want to make sure everybody wears their gloves and has their protective equipment on. So you can see our team spends a lot of work this week laying everything out so that everybody, all you have to do is find your tree and go ahead and plant it. I thought this one right here would be a perfect one for the first one. This is a silver maple.
That'll do well by a creek.
Yeah, they love this streamside environment. They're very fast growers. And another little quick thing that I think is super cool is this one is grown by a volunteer. So we have community members helping really all parts of our process from growing trees, planting them, and then taking care of the sites after we plant them. And we're very proud of our volunteers and grateful for them. So what you'll do is you'll find these little pin flags that have the tree next to them. How about I'll dig the hole for you? Secretary Dunn will plant the tree, and then Rob will help with the sheltering. All right, so what you'll do is the first thing you want to do is pick up that flag, and then our little catchphrase is we say, don't skip the scuff. We want you to scuff the soil right there. That'll help you backfill the hole so we don't have a lot of grass, debris in the hole. And then you can just put your flag right next to the hole so that's easier to find the tree. There we go. Oh yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Nice and squishy soil. Thank goodness for all the rain that we finally started to get lately. But yeah, you can see I'm not really digging a huge hole, right? So we have the shovels all lined up there. Should have plenty of shovels for everybody. You don't want to dig a really big hole for a really small tree. So these small seedling sized trees are really the perfect size, a nice balance of not being, you know, too small, but being so young that they can really quickly adapt to the site. So that's why we like this size. Yeah, and
Great soil.
we
wish
lucked
I had
out.
that at
This is a
home.
good one. Yeah, right. All right, so now and again, feel free to get in a little closer if you'd like. Secretary Dunn to do the honors here. Do you want me to like narrate your?
Yeah, narrate and, then,
yeah.
and correct me if.
Yeah. So yeah, we like to, you know, just like a tomato or a pepper in your yard, good to kind of squeeze the container a little bit to loosen it up. It might even, sometimes, I've been to plantings where they froze overnight. I don't think we're quite that deep into autumn yet,
Okay,
but
this guy likes his spot.
yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful. So then the number one thing that we want you to pay attention to is what we call the root collar. So where the stem tissue turns into the root tissue. So basically it'll probably be where the soil is at the surface of your pot. So we don't want you to plant so that this much is sticking out. We don't want you to plant so that this much is buried. we want you to plant right to that root collar so the tree can be as healthy as possible and hopefully live for several hundreds of years.
Yeah. Now this one doesn't seem particularly root bound, so I don't need to loosen this one up, do I?
Yeah, correct. So yeah, if you've ever done any gardening, if it was really, really root bound, good to kind of break that up, but this one's good to go.
Good to go, yeah.
So yeah, we could put it in. What we like to do is put the tree on the upstream side of the hole so that when we pound that stake, which you'll see the demo of pretty soon, so Orson Run I think is going that way. So yeah, so upstream will be on this side of the hole. So when we put this stake in for the deer shelter, it's into that firm ground instead of into the loose, fresh soil. So yeah, you can see Secretary Dunn's a pro.
How's that look?
That looks beautiful. Yeah, she's got a lot of experience. So, and then you can see another thing, excellent practice of breaking up the soil. You don't want to put the big chunks of soil in there. Any air space in the hole will dry out the roots, and dry roots are dead roots. So we want to keep them nice and snug and happy in here. There we go.
Nice, loamy soil.
No one does it better.
Oh, I don't know about that. Maybe no one's done it longer.
Yeah, this is good soil.
This is great
It's going to be a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting really worried a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, some of these York County farms are very rocky. This is nice bottomland soil.
And so yeah, while we're filling the hole here, super quick on the note of the farm, this producer is doing a bunch of other practices that are going to support clean water and also just good land use, more carbon storage in the soil, all things that we really need our producers to be helping with. So this is a really excellent farm. And I want to give a special shout out to our agriculture team here too. Our forest team is here. Maybe forest team people, if you could raise your hands. A lot of them have been helping lay things out and working with farmers and other landowners all the time. But then our ag team, we could not do this without. So please raise your hands. We have like a strong internal partnership is kind of how I think about it between those two teams. And we get so much done together. So we're really proud of that work too. There we go. I don't know if it could have been done better. Thank you, Secretary Dunn. So yeah, Rob, if you could show us here. So then what we like to do, oh, there you are, you're right there. And you're even wearing an orange shirt. So yeah, if you want to take it from here with the stake in the shelter.
Absolutely. Ryan alluded to this a little bit earlier. We're going to be putting these on the upstream side. As you're doing your plantings out here, you're not going to worry about the stake part. We're going to do that. That is the part that is, if we don't want to have this big heavy thing moving around, we'll do that. That's our job. You just focus on planting. We are going to put that on the upstream side here, upstream. So you're planting that tree on this side. We're going to pound the stake in next to it. And the shelters are going on here mainly to keep deer off. Deer will eat these trees. We have 5-foot shelters. That helps keep it out of the range where they can eat. I'm going to put that in there. Again, we got nice soil, so I don't even need to hold it in. I'm going to pound that down in there. This should go easy. Oh my.
Yeah, I know. This is like the best soil ever.
I'll give it just a little more tap. All right. So that's the part we'll do. That'll be forest team and alliance staff doing that. Maybe a couple DCNR folks if they're really, really into it. This is our tree shelter. It has a top and a bottom. The top has these perforations in it. And it also has a flare. We put the flare in the air. And we got these nice reversible zip ties. So once we get all of our stakes pounded into the ground, we're going to move down that way. We're going to follow you pounding the stakes in. When you get to the end, you can start moving back and putting the shelters on. We just slip them over the top. And very gently thread that in there. The main part at this juncture that you're going to want to watch out for is you don't want to have that zip tie go around the tree, because that'll girdle the tree, that'll cut off its circulation, and then we have a dead baby tree, and that's very sad. We'll have to come out and replant that. So your care at this point, greatly appreciated. We're coming down. Get that top one on there. Just give it a little push to have the soil contact. That helps keep rodents, voles from getting under there and eating the bark and roots of our freshly planted trees here too. Not inside the zip tie. Again, these are reversible. There's a little button. If you need to have that demonstrated, I'm happy to do that. But get that right up against the stake, pull it, get the bottom one, and there we go. It's in bed for the winter, and we'll see it in the spring.